Why on earth are there so many professional soccer leagues? I don't get it. That's the first question I asked myself when it came to picking the soccer league that I'll be following. If you know why there are so many soccer leagues, do me a favor and let me know in the comment section down below. Or maybe help me put a petition together to, I don't know, put all the important teams from each league around the world into one league. I don't know. As I said in my last video, I am doing the absolute minimum amount of research required to pick the league that I'll be following. It's also important to note that even though I'll be picking a single team to follow as my favorite, I won't be focusing solely on that single team, similar to how a parent would only focus on their favorite child. But also, I'll be learning and watching the league that my favorite team is in as well. I googled the most popular soccer leagues in the world, and it looks like the choices are between the following: England's Premier League, Spain's La Liga, Italy's Serie A, France's Ligue 1, and Germany's Bundesliga. Bundesliga? For those of you that are keen enough, you may have noticed that I failed to include America's MLS. You might be asking yourself, why did Kevin leave the MLS out of his selection pool? And well, that's because America is special.
Goddamn right.
But not all things that are special deserve to be thrusted into the limelight. For starters, the MLS decides to start their regular season in February, while the rest of the world came to the unanimous decision that they'd be starting their regular season in August. To continue pouring gas on the fire, I've been told that all the actually good players are over in Europe. Now, every once in a while, you will get a star player at the tail end of their career making their way across the big old pond to play in the good old US of A. But unfortunately, you'd likely require a time machine to extract any of the talent they formerly showcased. Hence why the MLS has been nicknamed the Retirement League. So let's get started by looking at Germany's very own Bundesliga. Bundesliga? Supposedly the league is dominated year in and year out by a single team, Bayern Munich.
Here's Johnny.
So unfortunately, being a part of this league is a fight for second place. It's not very competitive, and it's quite predictable. Are people going to be hurt by that assessment of the German soccer league? Perhaps. But it wouldn't be the first time or the second time that something related to Germany resulted in controversy. On top of that, who on earth gives their league such a difficult name to pronounce? Unfortunately, the Bundesliga is out. Another interesting choice could have been France's Ligue 1, but it too is plagued by the dominance of a single team. In fact, the league is so top-heavy, it almost reminds me of what Elon Musk looks like without a shirt on. The best team in France is Paris Saint-Germain. It is stacked from top to bottom with stars. But the competition outside of Paris is weak to say the least, helping it earn the nickname the Farmers League. And unfortunately, I have no interest in watching a league sponsored by Farmers Insurance.
We are farmers, bum 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 bum.
So with that, Ligue 1 is out. Spain's La Liga is often regarded as one of the best professional soccer leagues in the world, but it too still falls victim to the trope of a top-heavy soccer league. However, unlike the other soccer leagues, La Liga actually has two menacing bullies: Barcelona FC and Real Madrid. Oh, and let's not forget their little brother, Atletico Madrid, who honestly is just happy to be there. While both Barcelona and Real Madrid have more money than anybody, or should I say, used to have more money than anybody, because Barcelona's on the verge of bankruptcy.
The money, Skylar, where is the rest?
That both these teams manage their money about as poorly as a child with their parents' credit card on some meaningless mobile app game. However, if that's not enough to dissuade you from watching the league, it's important to understand that the wannabe third head of the dragon, Atletico Madrid, basically comes in after the other two have had their fair share of destruction and crushes any remaining hopes that the other teams have. Additionally, neither Messi or Ronaldo play in this league anymore, so my interest in La Liga is pretty much done. England's Premier League, said to be the most balanced, the most competitive, spoken in a language that I claim to speak. So many competitive and great teams to pick from. 6 to be in fact, double our next best league. It makes such a compelling argument, but there's just one issue. While some of us Americans may have forgotten, I have not, because I took US History 1 in high school, and last time I checked, the USA absolutely bodied the English in the Revolutionary War. And if they can't beat the team that hosts the MLS, they clearly cannot be a credible suitor for a soccer league or this show. And for that reason alone, the Premier League is out. And then there was one, Serie A. And no, I'm not just gonna pick Serie A because that's all that's left. I'm not gonna pick it because of some stupid 250-year-old grudge that I hold. Serie A is easily the third best soccer league in the entire world, and at one point was actually considered the greatest soccer league in the world. And while they have had a fall from grace since those seemingly foreign days of the 90s and 2000s, they've actually recently been growing in popularity, similar to those fashion trends in the 90s like baggy clothing and fanny packs. No, Fanny packs aren't cool. Stop lying to yourself. Historically, Serie A has been controlled by a true three-headed dragon that Atletico Madrid could only dream of. Those teams including Juventus, AC Milan, and Inter Milan. However, there are 3 brave teams that refuse to yield to the three-headed dragon, and somehow have managed to stay competitive year in and year out despite their difficulties. And those 3 teams are Napoli, Roma, and Atalanta. And with that, Serie A can make for some great Cinderella stories, some great villain stories, and even better competition. Plus, my ancestors are Italian, I love espresso, so this undoubtedly is the professional soccer league that I'll be watching. And even though I just picked the league I'll be following this season, I still need to pick my favorite team. I also have so many questions about soccer and Serie A in general. For starters, what is a Serie A? How much should I really be worried about Juventus, AC Milan, and Inter Milan? And also, why does America call it soccer when the rest of the world is calling it football? Hopefully none of you are too mad that I didn't pick your favorite soccer league. But hopefully this video gave you some great insight into how correct you were when you picked your favorite soccer league. Oh, and remember England, there's always more tea parties where that came from.